Big Nuffin's Big Quiz!
Yeah! Howdy doody, good people. Hope you're all fine and dandy out there. Big Nuffin back in the house for another exciting edition of
Big Nuffin's Big Quiz!
Yeah, this one's called What Came First? You get 30 questions. You're presented with two different things. All you have to decide is what came first out of those two things. Simple as that, folks. Yeah, and if you've seen any of my other quizzes, you'd know that I sometimes throw in a
big interesting fact.
Yeah, well, after each question, you're going to get a
big interesting fact
related to that question. So, without further ado, let's play
Big Nuffin's Big Quiz!
Roll the theme music, boy.
Big Nuffin's Big Quiz! Big Nuffin's Big Quiz! Big Nuffin's Big Quiz! Big Nuffin's Big Quiz! Well, if you want your life to pop and fizz, well, you better start playing Big Nuffin's Big Quiz. Big Nuffin's Big Quiz!
Hey, question 1. What came first? Potato chips or traffic lights? What came first? It's potato chips! Yes, folks, potato chips were invented by accident in a New York restaurant in 1853. The first traffic light appeared in London in 1868 and promptly exploded. Question 2. What came first? The moon landings or email? What came first? The moon landings or email? It was the moon landings in 1969. Computer scientist Ray Tomlinson sent the first email in 1971 on the old ARPANET system. Yeah. Question 3. What came first, the telephone or the light bulb? What came first, the telephone or the light bulb? It was the telephone, folks, in 1876. Yeah. Alexander Graham Bell's telephone call, "Mr. Watson, come here," was made 3 years before Edison's first practical light bulb. Yeah. Question 4. What came first, sliced bread or tea bags? Sliced bread or tea bags, folks. What came first? It was tea bags in 1904. Yeah, tea bags were invented by accident when samples were sent in silk pouches in 1904. Sliced bread came later in 1928. Educate and entertain, folks. 5. What came first, the zipper or the ballpoint pen? The zipper or the ballpoint pen, folks? It was a zipper in 1893. Yes, folks, zippers zipped onto the scene in 1893. Ballpoint pens didn't appear until 1938. Question 6. What came first, the Walkman or the Rubik's Cube? The Walkman or the Rubik's Cube? It was the Rubik's Cube in 1974, folks. Yeah, Sony's Walkman only got music moving in 1979.
Big Nuffin's Big Quiz!
Question 7. What came first, folks, Coca-Cola or blue jeans? Coke or blue jeans? What came first? It was blue jeans in 1873. Yeah, Levi Strauss's blue jeans were patented in 1873, which is over a decade before anyone cracked open a Coke. Yeah. Question 8. Who came first this time? Rolling Stones or the Beatles? Not what came first, who came first? It was the Beatles in 1960. The Beatles formed in Liverpool, UK in 1960. The Stones rocked up in London in 1962. Both legendary British bands, folks. Question 9. What came first, the Statue of Liberty or the Eiffel Tower? What came first, the Statue of Liberty or the Eiffel Tower? It was the Statue of Liberty, folks.
By the dawn's early light.
Health and safety notice. It has been brought to my attention that there is too much pulsing and throbbing going on in this video, guys. So, guys, cut down on the throbbing. People are getting headaches out there. Yeah. Okay, less on-screen throbbing. There we go. What came first, Olympic marathon or X-rays? It was X-rays in 1895, folks. Yeah, the first Olympic marathon was in 1896, a year later. X-rays arrived in 1895. Not that that looks like an Olympic marathon on the right there. Anyway, more like a fun run in the park. 11. What came first, the steam train or the bicycle? The steam train or the bicycle? What came first? It was the steam train. Yes, folks, steam trains began chugging in the early 1800s. Bicycles, as we know them today, rolled out in 1817. Question 12. What came first, the sewing machine or the typewriter? Sewing machine or the typewriter? It was a sewing machine in 1846, yeah. Elias Howe's sewing machine stitched things up 2 decades before the first typewriter.
Big Nuffin's Big Quiz!
Question 13. What came first, Velcro or the microwave oven? We've got to install microwave ovens. It was the microwave oven in 1945, yeah. Velcro made fastening easy in 1955, 10 years later, folks. 14. What came first, CDs or Post-it notes? CDs or Post-it notes, folks? What came first? It was Post-it notes in 1977, yeah. Post-it notes stuck to office walls in 1977. CDs made music shiny and round in 1982. Educate and entertain, folks. 15. What came first, McDonald's or Disneyland, folks? McDonald's or Disneyland? What was first? It was McDonald's in 1940. Yeah, McDonald's was founded as a hamburger stand in 1940 by Ray Kroc. The first Disneyland appeared in 1955. There you go. 16. What came first? The first Super Bowl or the first James Bond film? It was the first James Bond film, yeah. Sean Connery's Bond debuted in Dr. No in 1962. The first Super Bowl kicked off in 1967. 17. Hello, the throbbing screen's back. Anyway, what came first, Google or Wikipedia? Yes, folks, Google started first in 1998. Wikipedia, not till 2001. 18. What came first? Was it the Wright brothers' flight or the Titanic sinking? Yeah, it was the Wright brothers and that inaugural flight in 1903. Yeah, Titanic tragically sank in 1912, folks.
Big Nuffin's Big Quiz!
Shut up! Question 19. What came first? The electric guitar or the television? It's the television back in 1927. Yes, folks, the world's first TV broadcast predated the Lecky guitar by 4 years. 20. What came first, Friends or The Simpsons? What came first, Friends or The Simpsons? Yeah, it was The Simpsons, which debuted as shorts in 1987 and as a series in 1989. Friends not until 1994, folks.
Big Nuffin's Big Quiz!
Question 21. What came first, cornflakes or the vacuum cleaner? What came first, cornflakes or the vacuum cleaner? Yeah, it was the vacuum cleaner, folks, in 1901. Cornflakes made breakfast history in 1906. The vacuum cleaner 5 years earlier in 1901, folks. Question 22. What came first, Barbie doll or a seatbelt law? What came first, Barbie doll or a seatbelt law? It was the Barbie doll, yeah. Barbie's debut was 1959. The world's first seatbelt law, which was in Australia, didn't come in until 1970. And there's a gorgeous representation of a Barbie doll there, enjoying some candy floss. Doesn't she look nice? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a seatbelt on the right. 23. What came first, the jet engine or the photocopier? The jet engine or the photocopier, folks? It was the photocopier. The first jet engine flight was 1939, but the first working photocopier was in 1938. 1 year before, folks. Yeehaw! 24. What came first, air conditioning or the hairdryer? Air conditioning or the hairdryer? What came first? It was the hairdryer. Yeah, the hairdryer was invented in 1890. Willis Carrier invented modern air conditioning in 1902. 25. What came first, radar or nylon? What came first, radar or nylon? It's a draw, folks. They both appeared in 1935. Yeah, the first draw.
Big Nuffin's Big Quiz!
26. What came first, the hamburger or the hot dog? What came first, the hamburger or the hot dog? It's the hot dog. The hot dog as we know it came to Coney Island in 1867. The hamburger's origins are traced to 1900. Hot dog, boy! 27. What came first, the escalator or the elevator or the lift as we call it in the UK? What came first? It was the elevator in 1852, yeah. Escalators started riding up in 1892, a good 40 years later, folks. 28. What came first, the colour TV or the Polaroid camera? The colour TV or the Polaroid camera? It was the Polaroid camera, yeah. The first instant Polaroid camera launched in 1948. Colour TV sets became commercially available in 1954. 29. What came first, the radio or the toaster? What came first, the radio or the toaster? Who's the toaster? The first pop-up toaster appeared in 1893. Radio waves sent music through the air in 1895, 2 years later. And finally, folks, question 30. What came first, Superman comic or Batman comic? It was the Superman comic in 1938. Batman came in 1939 in the Detective Comics number 27. There's Superman flying there on the left, and on the right, a rather young, not yet quite fully developed superhero, Little Batman. Thank you, folks.
Big Nuffin's Big Quiz! 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 Well, if you want your life to pop and fizz, well, you better start playing Big Nuffin's Big Quiz. Big Nuffin's Big Quiz!